And so this morning, brothers and sisters, it is against this backdrop that I want to speak to you on the subject, the cries of certain men. The cries of certain men. Listen, I know I'm talking about the cries. I want you to be aware this morning that cries can be literal and cries can be figurative this morning. Cries can be loud and cries can be silent. There are cries that are without and there are cries that are cried deep down within. And I want to tell you that cries can also be genuine cries. Cries, you can have cries of joy and happiness and cries of deep sorrow and anguish and pain and hurt. And you can have some facetious, hypocritical, and fraudulent cries that are only used to distract us from what really matters the most. But nevertheless, my brothers and sisters, the cries of certain men are really cries for help. I'll say that again. The cries of certain men are really cries for help. Are you hearing what I'm saying to you this morning? But even though I'm talking about certain men this morning, ladies, I just want you to know that even though I'm talking about certain men, for instance, when I am speaking to my sons in the house and my wife is in our presence, she still hears what I'm saying to my boys. She can't turn off her hearing. So I just want to say this morning that she who has an ear to hear, let her hear what the Spirit is saying to the church this morning. Amen. So I'm talking about the cries of certain men. Certain men. Cries, they are cries for help this morning. The cries of certain men are cries for help. And so this morning I want to connect and encourage certain men this morning who can identify with the men in these scriptures. And I just want you to know this morning that God has heard your cry and He's coming to help you. He's coming to help you. But you know what? There's some things that are required of you when He comes. Amen? God is not just a God of giving and giving and giving, but there's some things that you have to give back to Him. All right? I can't shake your hand, Pastor Sue, unless you extend your hand to mine. And so if God is going to give us, we have to give back something to Him that He requires of us. Can I hear amen this morning? Amen. And so the Lord wants to address 4 types of cries in men this morning, even today, that we see coming out of the passage. Right? The first cry, there are 4. The first cry is certain men are crying out for attention. Number 2, certain men are crying out of frustration. Number 3, there are certain men who are crying out of desperation. And number 4, there are certain men who are crying out for salvation. So firstly, I'm sure that we all know of somebody, either at your club or at work or even at home, who are miserable. I ain't even want to look in the screen because I feel I got people home somewhere up the road that might be laughing right now. Right? That miserable and fretful and everything they're picking at and complaining about. You know, simple little things that really matter, they're just fretting about. You know, oh, woe is me, and they always want this, they always want that. Next to the third, and somebody always doing them something, or somebody always doing this and doing that. And sometimes, you know, when you have had enough, you just say to me, well, you don't hush. What you crying about? Stop crying. Stop crying. You're crying too much. And I'm going to tell you, brothers and sisters, I believe, right, that if Jesus was a virgin, that is exactly what He told the scribes when He came down and saw them questioning His disciples. What were they crying about? What were they crying about? Huh? What were they crying about? I I know when the scribes, when they come here because when they believe in me or believe that I am the Messiah, when they come to gypsy and people business, when they come to gypsy and cause havoc and strife, when they cry about, when the hypocrites, when the scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites. That's what he told them. Hypocrites, man. When it's going to widows' houses pretending when they're praying and whine and complain and carry all the money. Hypocrites. Hypocrites, man. Y'all would trod the entire length and breadth of the earth to convert a proselyte, and then when he is converted, make him twice a child of hell than when they are. Hypocrites. When they whitewash sepulchres. I ain't saying, it ain't Matthew 23, so I'm going to take that JC talking there, Grace. Read Matthew chapter 3. Hypocrites, he called them, man. And that is what we do. Some people out there cry out because the problem is that when people who feel like they have a stronghold in your life feel like they are losing the grip, right? They get on and carry on and bring no room, a temper tantrum, man, because the scribes were walking in error. All along, people were sick and crying out for help, and none of them, all they had was talk. But then a man called Jesus came upon the scene and began to heal people left, right, and center. And they will not believe that he is the Messiah, but they want to come up in his business. And we have people like that. When people decide, I'm tired of you trying to hold me down. I'm tired of you trying to keep me back. And now I've found a light. Somebody else come into my life and show me a better way. I've got some sort of education and I get a breakthrough. And now you want to hold me back. No. They're crying out for attention. They're crying out for attention. And sometimes that cry could be fraudulent. But sometimes we have to know when it is genuine. I home the other day and I in the laundry room and Elijah up in the front, the living room chair. Now the living room chair seat is only about 10 or 12 inches off the ground. And I hear this crying, Daddy! 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 And all of a sudden my heart rate started to jump. And my stomach started to secrete all of these chemicals and a fear coming to my heart. My God, and I said, what's going on? And all of a sudden the devil has put images in his head that this big on the corner got the boy swallowed halfway. And he's trying to get out. Or some demons got to eat it with a knife and fork, shoving it, salt and pepper on it and eat it. And then they want to run to the boy, but I'm afraid too. Because I can't imagine ways I can see. But I gotta go because the father. I bump out there. Hey boy screaming, and the boy, half of the boy body put the chair, the other half touching the ground, so that. And I froze because all of my emotions just flow out of me, and I froze. Anger, pain, hurt, tears, all kind of things come in my mind. And all I could tell him was, that is not funny. I completely got distracted. I up to now, I went back to where I was. I can't remember what I was doing. Complete distraction. But you know what? I realized when I thought about it, he was just crying out for attention. He just wanted my attention. And so we have to know when the cry for attention is genuine. And we have to know when. Listen. I feel it up hurt even though I went through all the emotions in the spectrum one time. I get overloaded. I shut down. Everything shut down. So we have to know that certain men are crying out for attention, but sometimes we are crying out from the wrong place because we are walking in error. The scribes sometimes feel like they were walking in truth, but they were walking in error because the trail truth, the way and the life was there and they could not recognize it. Certain men are crying out for attention.